Hello, my name is Rachel Guy, and I am the Director of Medical Ethics Advocacy at Georgia Life Alliance, and I have the incredible privilege and gift of being able to interview Dr. Kathleen Raviel. She is a board-certified OBGYN and a fellow in the American College of Obstetrics and Gynecology. She was a prior president of the Catholic Medical Association and has been involved in the pro-life work for 30 years. She has also been involved in the abortion pill reversal, and we will be speaking today not only about the gift of the abortion pill reversal, but about the reality of what the abortion pill does. So thank you so much for being here, Dr. Raviel.
Thank you so much, Rachel, for having me.
So if you could share with the audience a bit about the reality of what the abortion pill is and what the abortion pill is not.
Well, the abortion pill started out being called RU486. The RU stood for the drug company that developed it in France, Roussel Uclaf. They developed it in the 1980s, and it was the 486th attempt at developing this drug. And what this drug does is it antagonizes the progesterone receptors. So in pregnancy, progesterone is a very important hormone that maintains the pregnancy, keeps the baby alive until the placenta is fully developed at 8 weeks gestation. But the RU486, or mifepristone, binds to the progesterone receptors and prevents progesterone from acting, which then kills the baby. RU486 was then sold to a German company whose parent company actually made the gases that were used in the extermination camps during World War II. When it came to the United States in 2000, by FDA approval, a company was developed, funded by the Packard Foundation, George Soros, and Warren Buffett, as well as the Kaiser Family Foundation, called Danco Laboratories. The only drug they sell is mifepristone for medical abortions. So the way it works is the woman goes to Planned Parenthood or some other licensed abortionist and has an ultrasound to see how far along she is in pregnancy. The FDA has approved the use of this drug up to 10 weeks from the first day of the last period. The woman is given 200 milligrams of mifepristone and then is given 800 micrograms of a prostaglandins, misoprostol, to take 24 hours later and is sent home. Now, the mifepristone is going to be what's going to take the life of the baby. And then 24 to 48 hours after taking the misoprostol, she's going to start cramping very badly. These women have a lot of abdominal pain, a lot of bleeding, and they're left to abort their baby at home or at work or wherever they are when they actually lose the baby. If the woman has a complication, she's told just to go to the emergency room and be cared for in the emergency room. She's not cared for by those who gave her the medication. And that combination of drugs is 97% effective at terminating a pregnancy.
That is absolutely so heartbreaking to think that in our society, in our country, that we claim the land of the free, that we take the most vulnerable, the most innocent lives.
Well, many women don't understand that this is an innocent life. They're told it's a blob of tissue. They're told it's potentially a baby, but it's not really a baby now. In the state of Georgia, women are supposed to be offered to see the ultrasound when they're in Planned Parenthood.
Yes.
And if they see the ultrasound and see the heartbeat, often that will dissuade them from having an abortion.
So how many babies' lives are taken through the abortion pill per year?
Well, we think at this point about a third of all the abortions done in this country are done with medical abortions. So we don't really know an accurate count of the number of abortions in this country. You know, it's anywhere from 600,000 to 1 million a year, maybe even more, because California doesn't report their statistics. And that's the largest state in the union. But a third of them at least are done with medical abortions. And it makes it so easy for the woman. Nobody has to drive her to the clinic. Nobody has to know she's having the abortion. She can just do this all on her own, which is also even more traumatic for the woman because often she is doing it on her own.
Can you share with us a bit about the gift of abortion pill reversal and what that does not only for the child, but for the mother?
Well, what happened not long after these started being done was women would go to the clinic, they would take the mifepristone, the RU486, and they would walk out of the clinic and change their minds. And they would go on their computers and start Googling, you know, can a medical abortion be stopped? And so a family practice doctor in California, Dr. George Delgado, developed a website and an 800 number. So if women decided they wanted to try to stop the abortion, they could call him. They'd be put in touch with a nurse who then had a network of doctors around the country who were willing to help these women and would put them in touch with the woman. They signed a consent form. Their complete history was taken. They were seen by the doctor who was going to take care of them to stop it. And then that process was begun. Now, as I said, RU486 or mifepristone is a progesterone antagonist. It binds to the receptors twice as well as progesterone does. So what you have to do is you have to override that by giving large doses of bioidentical progesterone, which is commercially available at the drugstore with a prescription, and you can stop it. And so Dr. Delgado published a study recently of what ended up being 574 women who actually were given the progesterone and followed through on the protocol, and was able to stop 64 to 68% of these medical abortions. And I remember the first woman that I did this with, she came back to see me after the baby was born. The two of them were wearing identical headbands. They were his little girl. And she said, "Thank you so much for helping me. I don't know why I did that. I did it on impulse."
Oh my gosh. And so, what would you encourage a young woman who's watching this, who's contemplating taking the abortion pill, to encourage her to not and to show her the hope in choosing life?
Well, first of all, there's always somebody there to help you. If you haven't talked to your mom, talk to your mom. If you haven't talked to the father of the baby, talk to the father of your baby. If you can get some other family support, it's a big help in having the courage to have your baby. But just remember, this is a baby. And a medical abortion is not something that's very easy. If any of you have seen the movie Unplanned, a medical abortion is depicted in that film. And Abby Johnson, who the film is taken after, said that was nothing compared to what she really went through. It's extremely painful with a lot of bleeding. And so rather than go and get a medical abortion, because they're not going to advise you not to have one if you walk into Planned Parenthood, then just go and find some support for you to carry your baby and either raise your child or put the baby up for adoption. The protocol that we actually use to stop a medical abortion is we give 400 milligrams of bioidentical progesterone twice a day for 3 days, and then every night for the first 12 weeks of pregnancy. And as I say, it's 64 to 68% effective. There was another study that was stopped that was done actually by a doctor who specializes in abortion, and he was trying to enroll 40 women in which he would stop the abortion or would just not do anything, just not give the prostaglandins and see how many of these babies survived, because they didn't believe the statistics from the pro-life community. And he stopped the study after only 12 patients, 2 of which came out of the study. But of the other 10, 5 he gave progesterone to, and 4 of them still had live babies 2 weeks later. So even though he stopped the study because of heavy bleeding in the women, especially who had just taken the mifepristone and had to go to the hospital in an ambulance, he showed that it is effective at stopping the abortion and still having a live baby. And RU486 does not cause any fetal anomalies. It doesn't cause any malformations in the baby. But if the woman takes the second drug, the prostaglandins, that does cause fetal anomalies.
How would you encourage a physician who isn't very much aware of the abortion pill reversal? What would you say to them to encourage them to do abortion pill reversal in their practice?
Well, you know, this isn't really any different when you think about it from somebody who has an overdose of an opioid and you give them Narcan. You're overriding the opioid to bring them out of their coma. You're just overriding a drug that the patient took that now she regrets taking. If we really want to have people make choices, if they choose to stop it, why not give them some help? There's no increased risk for you.
That is so true. That is so true. And women deserve better than abortion, as we know, and these precious babies deserve better than abortion.
And these women deserve better than being told that the abortion is easy. They won't be affected by it. It won't cause them any harm. It won't give them any emotional problems later on. because in half of women, they really do suffer after they have an abortion.
Absolutely. Yes. You cannot take the life of a child and go unscathed and go unhurt. And it's so true. It's so true. Well, thank you so much for your heart, for life and for every single child. And thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
It has been such a privilege and a gift to be able to interview Dr. Rabiel, her heart for every single child in utero. I am just so thankful that she's been able to share with us about abortion pill reversal, about the gift of that, but also about the heartbreaking reality of the abortion pill, how it takes an innocent, precious child's life. And I want to thank you all who are watching for your hearts for life, that no matter how conceived, that no matter the health condition of the child, that no matter what the situation may be, that you all recognize that every single life is made intrinsically in the image of God from fertilization, and that cannot be taken away. God bless.